So we're at a distribution center just outside of Savannah, Georgia. We installed a chiller system with 6 air handlers to cool just under 800,000 square foot of distribution center. Most length of pipe I've ever installed on one job, just under 7,000 foot of total pipe. So once we got involved with the bidding process, the job was 100% carbon steel. Through working with Jerry McIntyre with Eastern, they offered the idea of bidding it with carbon steel and bidding it with NIRON. The NIRON ultimately helped us because we were able to up the SDR, get a thicker pipe, and helped us with our hanger spacing, where carbon steel, the hanger spacing was just a little too much and we were going to have to add additional supports. So NIRON helped us, and it helped us procure the job because other contractors were looking at it the same way. So we were able to be competitive in that, and it was a big cost saving to the customer overall.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, you want a biscuit?
Yes, sir. Thank you. From the time we bid the work to the time we were awarded the work, anytime we had any questions about NIRON, working on hanger spacing, figuring out how many hangers we needed, Jerry was there to come by the office or talk on the phone. Him and Andy Ray helped get the material in. Eastern stored it for us at their facility. You know, it's all got to be kept out of the sunlight. They were able to, till we showed up on the site, they were able to keep it at their facility and help us come by, make sure every piece we needed was already there. You know, once we got the job and we showed up and got our hangers lined up, Eastern sent Bubba down. And once Bubba got here, gave us some training on NIRON, and then Bubba was with us as needed through the rest of the project. If we had any issues or questions throughout what fittings or products NIRON offers to make the job easier for us, Bubba was there. If we had any issues with machines or questions on the fusion machines, Bubba was there, or bringing us a electrofusion machine or anything we needed. He kept us the tools we needed.
Jonathan, this is the tool right here that we're gonna put the Instrumentation in with, and it'll be for your gauges and thermometers.
Most of all our pipe were straight runs, you know, so we weren't in any challenging angles or issues like that. So it was all pretty much butt fusion over and over and over and over until we did some of the electrofusion. But even that stuff was so simple, the process and the cleaning, you know, it was explained very well. And each time we swapped the process, Bubba would come down and make sure we were being trained, you know, having a head start on what we were fixing to do. We started in February. When we got on site, we did a layout and got all of our piping elevations figured out where we were going to miss all the existing utilities, and we started running these straight lines of pipe. Once we got done with the straight runs from end to end of building, we started tying our air handlers in. When the chillers arrived, we've installed 2 chillers and 2 cooling towers out in the mechanical room outside. Tied those to the warehouse. Everything's up and running now. It's the end of July, and 5 months, the project's complete. Did quite a bit of HDP work, but I'd never done NIRON. But NIRON was a pleasure to work with. We're used to working with carbon steel pipe all the time. It's so heavy and lugging it around, and once we build a fabrication, it takes some serious equipment to get it in place. And when this NIRON, we were able to just throw it on our shoulder and, you know, get it over to a piece of equipment and get it set in place. You know, you were used to welding carbon steel pipe or threading, and the time it takes to do that. We were able to roll up, face a piece of NIRON, put it in the fusion machine, and once the cool down time was done, we were on to the next one. And it was we weren't leaving a big footprint of having to spread fire blanket and worrying about being in a working distribution center. That would have been a big deal to have fire protection shut down, you know, welding blinds up, things like that. With the NIRON, we just had a little bit of shavings at the end of the thing and clean that up and move on to the next weld. No shutdowns to the facility for anything with our installation. I think it was pretty impressive that throughout our installation and under 7,000 foot, there was not a leak on the whole job. And that speaks to the guys that put the pipe in, but it also speaks to the product. Eastern knocked it out of the park. Anytime we needed anything, they were on top of it. There wasn't a question of, let me find out what that is, what you need. It was, okay, I know exactly what you need, and it's gonna be here tomorrow or the next day or as soon as they could, and they knew what we needed. That was the biggest help. They knew the product, they knew the pieces we needed to make our work easier. Bubba, let's get to work.
Let's do it.